Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Pacifica Virtual Airline. Well, today we're taking one of the return flights from Los Angeles down the coast to San Diego. If you remember our second to last video, it was our opening day, our first day on the job for Pacifica Airlines. We took the Neo Airbus up the coast to Los Angeles, and that was our maiden flight for the airline. Well, today we're taking one of those flights back. We have two flights that leave for San Diego, one at 5:15 and another one at 8:30 in the evening. Now, I haven't set those times in concrete yet. I'm going to fly them, I'm going to check them out, see how they go, and see how they work in with some of the other flights I want to do, and then I'll set the time in concrete. But we are departing today from Los Angeles and heading down to San Diego. It is our permanent regular service. Now, I've put the actual flight plan on the screen here. If you want to take a screenshot or if you want to copy it, I've got low altitude airways, and over here I selected San Diego as arrival, and also up here I've selected on approach or runway, I've selected RNAV 09. Now that puts us on a flight plan, and it lines up the runway for us and everything on the flight plan. All this information has now been automatically transferred and loaded into our aircraft computer, the FMS. It's all in there, all the waypoints and the approach and everything. So there's nothing more to do. We just need to turn on the autopilot and follow our flight plan. But there doesn't seem to show up any ILS frequencies or headings in the flight planner and Flight Sim 2020. In FSX, however, there is an ILS frequency of 109.90, and the heading is 69. So if you want to do an ILS approach, an ILS landing, that is the frequency and that is the heading that you set onto your plane's computer, and then you'll be able to line up and do an automatic landing, ILS landing. Okay, so that's the flight plan. If you'd like to fly along with us, or in your flight simulator, fly along and do some of our services in this virtual airline. Okay, so we've set up the flight. We are now at the airport in KLAX, and we are ready to start things up and get things going. So I'll get things all going. I'm going to get the luggage on board and get the catering all done, connect up the air bridge, get the passengers on board and settled in. And once all that's done, I will talk to you again soon. Now, as you can see today, we are flying the Boeing 737 MAX. And since we don't have one painted in our airline colors, Pacifica Airlines, we are in close affiliation or close alliance with Delta Airlines. So we're going to be using some of Delta's paint schemes on our aircraft. This is the Delta 737 MAX. And so the planes that you'll see that we don't have painted in our own paint scheme, our own livery, we will be using our close alliance with Delta Airlines, and we'll be flying some of their aircraft on our route as well as our own. So should be fine. Right, let's get all the groundwork done before we can taxi and start up the engine. Okay, we're all cleaned up, we're all loaded up and ready to go. Pushback is complete. We can begin our taxi.
Now we ask that you direct your attention to the forward part of each cabin to the TV monitors for a brief and important safety message. How about our next call?
Welcome aboard. Please fasten your seatbelt. Insert the metal fitting into the buckle and tighten the strap. To unfasten your belt, pull up on the buckle. Turbulence may occur unexpectedly, so keep your seatbelt fastened during the flight, even when the sign is not on. Cell phones, two-way pagers, and all other electronic devices should be off and stowed. In American Way magazine is a list of non-approved devices. Remember, cell phones and two-way pagers may never be used in flight. Tray tables and footrests should be secured and your carry-on luggage placed under the seat in front of you or in a storage compartment. Please bring your seats to the upright position for takeoff. All flights are non-smoking. Smoking is prohibited in the lavatories. It is against federal law to tamper with, disable, or destroy any smoke detectors in the airplane lavatories. Please review the safety briefing card in your seat pocket for specific emergency information about this flight. The exit doors or windows on each aircraft are clearly marked. If the aircraft lighting system fails, an escape path will be clearly illuminated by an emergency lighting system. Each cabin exit door is equipped with an evacuation slide. Some slides can also be used as rafts. Large life rafts are also on board. A sudden change in cabin pressure will automatically release an oxygen mask above your seat. Take the mask and pull it firmly towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Put the mask on and pull the elastic band over your head. Tighten the band by pulling on the tabs on both sides of the mask. Breathe normally. The plastic bag will not inflate. Put your mask on, then help others sitting next to you with their masks. Your seat cushion may also be a flotation aid. Remove the cushion and place your arms through the straps on the lower side of the cushion. On some aircraft, a life vest is located under the seat or between seats. Put the vest on over your head and wrap the strap around your waist, pulling tightly. Never inflate the vest inside the aircraft. Once outside, pull down on the two red tabs to inflate the vest, or blow into the red tubes located on each side of the vest.
Okay, so we have taxied to the runway and we have clearance. We're ready to take off.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
Try and get in the middle of the runway. Okay, I have set up the autopilot. We're going to cruise around 10,000 feet initially, and we're going to travel around 220 knots. So I've got that set up in the autopilot. Flight director on. VNAV is on, so we'll hit the autopilot once we have a positive climb, and we're at a reasonable altitude. Right, positive rate, gear up. And we'll turn on our autopilot. Take up our flaps. Turn speed mode on and make sure our speed setting is where we want it, about 220. Altitude hold mode is on. Again, it's not a very long hop today, just down the coast to San Diego, so it's a bit of a short hop. We're not traveling at high altitude here, around about 10,000 feet. We should get a bit of a nice view, a bit of nice scenery as we travel down the coast. A bit of scattered cloud, but it doesn't look too bad.
Once you reach a comfortable cruising altitude, ladies and gentlemen, the flight attendants will be in the cabin to offer you a cocktail beverage of your choice, along with breakfast. There are 5 flight attendants on board today, primarily for your safety. If there's anything we can do to make your trip more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask.
Sit back and relax and enjoy the in-flight service.
Well, good day, ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck. We're level at our cruise altitude, so I'm going to turn off the seatbelt sign at this time. So you're free to move about as necessary. However, when seated, we would like you to keep your seatbelts comfortably fastened for your safety. We just checked the weather and expect smooth sailing for most of the flight. So for the most part, we're going to stay quiet and let you enjoy the entertainment and service, and we'll be talking with you later on the...
Okay, so we're at our cruise altitude now and at our desired speed. So I think it's time I can sit back and enjoy a nice croissant and a fresh cup of coffee. Sounds good to me. Right, the autopilot's on. I'm just going to pop through to the galley, say hello to the girls, say hello to the crew, and grab myself that nice croissant and coffee. The co-pilot's got the plane. Now we are beginning our descent. Like I said, it's not a very long hop. So we're going to descend down to 5,000 feet initially. And then when we do our final turn to line up our approach, we'll be at 3,000 feet. That'll be our target altitude. But now we're going to start descending and we will go down to 5,000 feet initially.
From the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. We're going to be landing in, about 20 minutes, so I'd appreciate it if you would return to your seats and fasten your seat belts at this time. Thank you.
Ladies
and gentlemen, as we begin our approach, we ask that you please check. Make sure that your seatbelts are securely fastened, low and tight across your lap. Please return your seat backs and tray tables to their full upright lock position. If you've had occasion to use your carry-on items, please make sure that they are safely stored underneath the seat in front of you or in the overhead enclosed bin. Also, if you're using any type of electronic device, if you would please turn it off until we are parked at the gate.
So we are now at 6,200 and coming down to our target, which is 5,000 feet. Our speed at 220 knots. I think that is okay at this stage. We've got a slight turn to the right coming up to so that we move over to the right and intercept our approach course. So when we do our turn to the right, I'm going to start bleeding off some speed, and we'll bring our speed down to around about 270, where we can start dropping some of our flaps. So at this stage it looks like we're going to be doing a manual landing, manual approach and manual landing, which will be exciting, which will be fun. I need to practice my manual landings actually, so it's probably a very good thing. We're about down to our target altitude now, right on track, and I got my nice fresh cup of coffee here. Now, if you like the look of this flight and the virtual airline, I always make the flight plan available at the beginning of the video so you can set up your flight simulator and fly for Pacifica Airlines. Why do you want to do that? Well, I quite like it because it gives me a sense of purpose, gives me some sort of reason to get up and fly, rather than just flying around on a jet and going home again. It doesn't sort of have much meaning or purpose, but if you fly for Pacifica Airlines, you have a job to do, you have a purpose, it gives you some sort of meaning. You've got to get our passengers from A to B, so it gives you a flight simulator that little touch of realism, as opposed just to flying around for the sake of it, which I quite enjoy. I quite enjoy the feeling that I've got a job to do. I've got to fly for the airline, get the passengers from A to B safely and efficiently, and it just gives me a real sense of purpose to my flight simulator, so I enjoy that. And like I said, you can copy our flight plan and you can follow along and fly for our airline as well. Just choose the aircraft of your choice. Coming down through some clouds now, looks beautiful. Okay, we're going to begin our slow turn to the right soon. In which case I'm going to bring our altitude down to 3,000 feet. I want to be at 3,000 feet when we start that moving over to the right to line up our final approach. So we can probably start that now because it's going to take us a minute or two just to get down to that altitude. So we'll change our auto altitude down to 3,000. Don't need to drop off our speed yet. Wait till we get a little bit closer to the final approach. Okay, we moved around to the right, then our right hand turn, and we're on course to intercept our final approach heading. So we're down to 3,000 feet. And I think I'm going to start dropping some speed off now. Start bringing our speed down. Come down to 270 initially. 170, sorry. And then I can start dropping some flaps. And we should be about 140, 130 by the time we land. I think around about there. Bring our speed down a little bit more, I think, down to 160. And we got some flaps down now, so we are safely traveling at a slower speed. One more turn and then we will be on finals for our landing. Now the final leg for our landing is quite short, so I think we need to start preparing actually for the landing.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we request that you store your electronic devices until we are safely parked at the gate. We also ask that you extinguish all smoking materials. In final preparation for landing, please make sure your seat backs are straight up, your tray tables are stowed, and any carry-on luggage you may have brought on board with you is underneath the seat in front of you or in an overhead bin. The flight attendants will be passing through the cabin one last time to do their final compliance check and pick up any remaining cups and glasses.
Flight attendants, prepare for landing, please.
Okay, just turning on to our final approach now. Gear down. Right, I think I'm about to turn the autopilot off now and do our manual approach and landing.
Take the captain just a few moments to taxi to the gate, so we ask that you remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off and the aircraft has come to a complete stop at the gate. That will be your only indication that it's safe to get up and move about the cabin. We also ask that you keep the aisles clear of any carry-on baggage. This is the termination of our flight this morning, so we ask that you check seat back pockets, closets, and overhead bins for any articles you may have brought with you. Extra care should be taken when opening the overhead bins, as heavy articles may have shifted during our flight. On behalf of your entire flight crew, it's been our pleasure serving you this morning. Have a pleasant stay.
Have a pleasant stay and welcome to San Diego. Again, for a manual landing, that was not good. In fact, it could be classed as very bad. I didn't really land in the right spot on the runway. So I do need quite a bit more practice with these manual landings, I'm afraid. Yeah, but that's part of the fun. If it was all too easy, we'd get bored very fast, wouldn't we? So we've all got to learn and progress and get better as we go. So I'll work on my manual landings. But we all walked away. No one was injured and no animals were used for the purpose of making this video, so it's all good. Now we'll just taxi slowly and gently and to the terminal, and that'll be it. Another beautiful, successful flight for Pacifica Airlines. Welcome everyone to San Diego. Thank you for flying along with us. Our next flight, I think our next flight is on the coming up video, is going to be our 747 service up to San Francisco from Los Angeles. So that'll be fun. Be sure to stay tuned for that. If you missed our previous flights, just go back. This is our third, I think, our third day on the job for Pacifica Airlines. Yeah, you're welcome to fly along with us. Like I said, the flight plans are up on the video right at the beginning of the video, so you can take a note of it if you have Flight Simulator and just fly along with an aircraft of your choice, preferably an airliner, and you can fly some of our services for Pacifica Airlines. And here we are. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. I enjoyed it. I love flying the 737. It's not a study level aircraft, this one. It is an add-on, a payware one, but it's not perfect in every way as far as detail and everything goes, especially the cockpit. We'll probably trade it in and get the PDMG 737 later in the year if that comes out, whenever it comes out. But at the moment, I'm enjoying this 737 MAX. So we'll be doing some more flights with this aircraft. Okay, thanks for watching. Subscribe, hit the like, thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't mind. And take care, everyone. I will see you again on the next video. Ciao.